Hey there, do you want to get healthier? Most people will say, sure, of course I want to be healthier. But when you get down to it, when you consider the changes you might have to make to get more healthy, that's where a lot of people stop because they're not willing to give up or change their habits. Today I have 3 changes I'm going to suggest to you that will make you healthier, and these all have to do with food. Of course, exercise is important, but I believe that the place to start is with the food and drink that we consume. Just why is it important to watch what we eat, to pick the right kinds of foods and to avoid the wrong kinds? Because the wrong kind of food can lead to lots of different diseases and illnesses. And we really have more control over our health than we believe. Just because you have parents or grandparents that died of diabetes or heart disease or cancer doesn't mean that you are going to get those. We really can make a difference in our health by our lifestyle choices. And food is really important. First, let's talk about sugar. Sugar is poison. We should not be eating sugar. We shouldn't be eating white sugar, brown sugar, honey, agave, molasses, fruit-based sweeteners, and then all those sugars that are chemicals that have the letters O-S-E at the end, like sucrose, or let's see, what are some other ones? Dextrose, fructose, glucose, maltose, all those that have OSE at the end, they're sugar. And why is sugar bad? Not just because you can gain weight, but so many people are either pre-diabetic or diabetic. And this number has shot up, has increased over the last 30 years. People haven't changed. It's the food we consume. And what's interesting is that there is a lot of sugar that is hidden in the foods we eat. Places that don't even, foods that don't even taste sweet, like soup, canned soup, sugar, salad dressing, sugar. And then there are the sugars that are in all the packaged, processed, fake food. You go into a grocery store in most countries, and more than half of the products for sale are food products. They're processed, packaged, fake food, I call it. And they have sugar in them. So avoid all sugar. Next are the grains. So no sugar and no grains. What are grains? Well, think about wheat, oats, corn flour, rice, and all the products that are made with that, pasta, bread, crackers, pastries, cakes. They have flour, they have grains, rice, grains. If you really want to avoid most of the diseases in the 20th and 21st century, avoid grains. Why? Why are grains bad? What about whole wheat or grains that haven't been stripped of their goodness? The trouble with grains is they all turn to sugar. They're starch. So whether you eat bread or you eat a cookie, it's all going to turn to sugar. And that is what is bad for our bodies. Sugar, and grains have a lot of it, cause inflammation that is harmful to the cells. So avoid grains. Well, that sounds really hard. Yeah, it is. But thousands of years ago, tens of thousands of years ago, most people ate meat and seasonal fruit, the fruit that grew on bushes or were on trees in the right season. They didn't eat grains and they didn't eat sugar. Sure, there might have been a little bit of wild honey, but we put sugar in everything and we eat a lot of grains. Think of soda. Think of like Coke and Pepsi and orange soda and all those. Think of the sugar that's in sodas and energy drinks and protein bars, all the things that are supposedly healthy. If they're manufactured, they're not. So no sugar, no grains. Personally, we rarely eat bread. We don't eat pasta. We don't eat rice. The only time we have bread is when I make my sourdough bread, and I only serve that when we have people over for a meal. And that's not that often. And when we have people for a meal and I serve my sourdough bread, Mike and I have one piece, and it's a treat. This might be once every couple months. So, but we like bread type products. So what I have found works for us is almond flour and coconut flour. And I make a type of bread, almond flour bread. It's not a grain, it's from nuts. And it has lots of eggs and lots of fat. And we slice it and toast it and put butter on it. And that satisfies our desire for something that's like bread. So no sugar, no grains, and finally, no seed oils. What are seed oils? They are oils made from plants, like corn oil, sunflower oil, sesame seed oil, safflower oil. They're really bad for you. And restaurants use them all over the place. They are used in packaged foods. They are terrible for you. I can't give you all the reasons, but there's enough research out there that you can find about avoiding seed oil. So if you don't use seed oils, what do you use? You use fruit oils and butter. What are fruit oils? Olive oil, coconut oil. Coconut oil is really healthy. Avocado oil. So we use all three, especially coconut oil, and we use butter. And those are so much healthier. We avoid seed oils. When we went to England in July, I cooked every night and we ate out lunch. We ate our lunch out and we chose healthy food. We chose fish and we chose beef and we chose eggs and salads. But the meats and the eggs were cooked in seed oils, and we got problems with diarrhea and loose bowels, and it was from the seed oils. They are so bad for your system. So we avoid seed oils, we avoid grains, we avoid sugar. Now, why do we do this? We started this about 6 years ago. We are now 67 years old. We wanted to protect our minds. They say that Alzheimer's is diabetes type 3. And we wanted to avoid Alzheimer's and dementia, when you can't remember things. We wanted to avoid heart disease, strokes, diabetes, cancers, because cancers feed on sugar. And so we found a way to eat that is low carb, basically no sugar, no grains. And this is how we eat. And it's been 6 years and 3 months. And it's wonderful. It's easy to do. We eat 2 meals a day, around the middle of the day and at night. We eat all the meats, fishes, all sorts of protein, about 100 grams of protein a day. We eat salads with my homemade dressing, oil and vinegar and Dijon mustard. We eat roasted vegetables. We eat nuts. We eat cheese, dairy products. We eat bacon. We eat lots of eggs. We use cream. These are the things that we eat for our lunch and for our dinner. And I make my almond flour bread that we toast and have a piece of that at lunchtime with some butter. It's easy to eat out in a restaurant. You have to be careful with the seed oils. I don't know how you can avoid that. So we don't eat out very often. Only when we are traveling or when somebody invites us to a restaurant. But we don't choose to go out and eat in a restaurant. And we feel really good. We did not do this to lose weight. We don't have weight problems, but we did this to protect our health. And my husband is on one medication, and that's it. So this is something I believe in very strongly. Our health and the health of people in 2024 matters to me. And so I tell people when they want to listen about how to eat. Not everybody wants to change the way they eat, but I think that it's important. And I think it's more important than exercise, though exercise is important. So tell me what you think. Do you or have you changed your eating to have better health? And what has worked for you? Well, that's it for this episode of English Without Fear. I'm Maria, and I'll look forward to talking with you next time. Bye.